Dad Pod?
This is a video thing as well.
Does have a name?
Podcast?
Midlife crisis.
Paddy Daddy.
Midlife crisis.
Dadcast?
That's not bad, actually, yeah.
All right, this thing is on, and we are back. We haven't been deactivated by our wives after Electric Picnic, but that's because the episode's only been up for about 24 or 36 hours, and as we know, life reaches a tipping point where people discover things, people listen, someone isolates a clip, the clip goes viral. I'm looking at you, Adrian Barry.
I don't know what you're looking at me for. I don't remember anything. I was pissed. In fact, I'd taken a lot of hard drugs. It was Electric Picnic. That's just the way shit was going.
Oh yeah, it was 2:00 in the afternoon, and we were all completely stone cold sober. But you know, certainly some of us got carried away.
Funnily enough, schedules have been cleared for the next month for everybody.
I don't need to schedule anything, it turns out. No schedule.
Okay, for anybody who missed our last episode, which did actually go up 2 episodes ago because we had our special with.
Can I just stop you before? What are you about to do now?
I'm about to recap.
Can you not do that?
I'm about to recap.
Could you please not? I'm asking you.
Okay, then you've got to go back and listen to the full unedited version of the Electric Picnic episode where Adrian talked about the joys of the birthing suite.
Yeah, like you brought that up before.
Yeah.
I think he's not here to defend himself, so the main thing that came out of that is Dave McIntyre set himself a deadline to get the snip.
For next year. It's
Next year,
If he was sitting here, he would also be saying, listen lads, I was high. That was not a thing that actually happened.
He booted that willy-shaped can down the road as far as he could kick it.
It's weird because he doesn't seem to have any great objection to actually doing the thing.
He does. He's like he talks about pain. Why would anybody volunteer for?
There's no philosophically, the sort of existential kind of, do I really want to get that done? Because,
Nathan just turned his mic on. Welcome to...
that would help.
Jesus Christ, it's where we did this on a professional basis every day of our lives.
He's not feeling that it lessens him as a man. He's actually seems like that's the great sort of existential debate about whether you get the snip or not.
Really? That doesn't enter my thinking at all, that this will lessen me as a man.
Well, on some base level, right, that's what it comes back to.
Do you think so?
Yeah, it's like... Is that not? Have I totally mischaracterized?
Well, honestly, you've revealed your own.
Well, possibly. I mean, I'm okay, as has been evidenced on this podcast on several occasions.
It's mostly your wife's innermost stuff that you're revealing, as opposed to your own.
Move on.
Oh my God!
What was I saying?
Adrian's sweating. Right Adrian's sweating now for the. Radio listeners.
Isn't there? I at some point have understood that the entire point of the arousal exercise to get you.
Go on.
Where's this going?
Keep going.
Like that every time you go to do it, that it's like the reason you're getting aroused, and like the biological reason behind all that on some level is that I'm going to
procreate
somebody.
Okay, right. So it's an old school Catholic idea of sex.
I have no idea where it came from. But,
as opposed to like, I'm going to have some fun.
No, it's not. It's nothing to do with religion. It's like there's a biological rationale for that happening.
Is there?
On some level. This is what I understood.
It happens a lot. If every seed you've spilled was going to be a human being, you'd repopulate the planet 15 times over, and that's 8 billion.
But that obviously.
All the dead children.
When do you think they discovered, man discovered masturbation?
Straight away! Like 15 seconds in. What's this? Hey!
Hey, Adam! Where? Do you think we should be doing this together? Sorry, I didn't mean us. I meant Adam and his mate.
I don't think anybody got that. But now everybody's like...
Your silence.
I just had a cough.
But anyway, that was my understanding of it. I may have mischaracterized what's actually a play, but...
I'm starting to hear more negative stories about the snip, though.
Well, we've definitely been gathering them.
People are coming forward to tell us about...
Yeah. So we did the show. And then we went over to have some drinks and some food at Just Eat, friends of ours. We have other friends. Who deliver food too. Deliveroo is a great brand. I'd also recommend them. Ding, ding, ding. And inside like 10 seconds, I had another father sharing the story of his snip. He got it done the Ryder Cup weekend. He was like, did a bit of research. Friday afternoon, Ryder Cup weekend. He's like, look, I'm not going back to work. I'm going to have to spend the weekend with my feet up. He thought that was absolutely perfect. He said there was a tightness in the general area for 6 months. 6 months afterwards.
Did he expand on the tightness?
I think
Or was the expansion?
Hey, no, he couldn't. Was expansion difficult? I don't know. But he said it worked fine, but like there was definitely, he was conscious of there having been a change.
So he didn't have a 6 month sabbatical. He just had tightness.
No.
That's weird. I mean, is that the typical experience?
I don't know. I mean, I now have multiple people who've come and told me at various stages about. One of them was a horror story about swelling and it not never working again properly.
Was that the person who you're meant to rest up for 24 hours and thought, it'll be grand, it feels all right? Yeah. Goes off.
Just straight away afterwards, one of the lads was telling us that he got it done and the advice was, he didn't follow the advice. So there was a big story about, my ball sack, I think essentially, or whatever it was, swelled up to the point of he wasn't able to walk. And then anyway, as it unfolded, it was like, they'd given us all this advice about movement. I didn't pay any heed to that, so maybe that was...
He went for a cycle, or something.
I don't know if he went for a cycle, but he was definitely doing stuff. They were saying that rest up, put your feet up, get off your feet, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I just didn't adhere to it, so, I mean...
Yeah. I mean, this is really a conversation about contraception, ultimately. Whether or not men are willing to take responsibility for contraception or if they're willing to leave it in the hands of their partner, / forcing their partner to look after it. It's a question about whether or not men are being responsible versus irresponsible galoots.
Well, without going all
teenagers.
Ross and Friends, is it not just 99%? Is that not what you're just killing off here? That, just in case you're in your mid-40s, you really don't want an accident happening. We can get away with it mid-30s,
You'd survive the accident happening.
Yes. Whereas...
You realise now that your mid-30s self was an idiot. and that ultimately you're just ruining your life again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it would it be your balls that would swell up?
I don't know. I guess
And to what extent?
as opposed to your Mickey.
No, I mean, I'm assuming it's not your Mickey.
Are you?
There's other undercarriage area that would have parts of the engine.
I fear our emails are now going to be tracked by IT over the coming days as we get fairly graphic accounts.
Dadcast@offtheball.com is the email address if you want to send us
any imagery,
the
please.
blow-by-blow account of your...
Where is this place in North Dublin?
Balbriggan.
Balbriggan. Why is Balbriggan the hotspot for the
No,
snip?
I think it was like they're even doing it in Balbriggan now.
Right.
So if anybody... You couldn't really hear it when I listened back. An audience member shouted in the crowd going, I had to get it done. My wife said they're even doing it. They're doing them in Balbriggan now. And I was like, I'm not going to Balbriggan. But I'm sure it's absolutely fine.
It sounded to me like it was like, the way they've started, the way insomnia started to go into post office? It was just shops?
Post office.
Post offices. So they'd just have a coffee shop. It sounded to me like it was just like, there's an area for the snip down the local Spar or whatever.
Go on, get in, get the injections.
Boom.
Get your loaf of bread, pint of milk, whatever snacks you need because you're going to be off your feet.
Good idea, get them everybody liquored up.
No, you go in, like giving blood, and then you get your pint of Guinness afterwards. Maybe you might stay for a second or third. You can have a nice relaxing seat, watch the golf, watch the football.
Yeah.
Get out before the crowd comes in.
Yeah. I mean, look, the whole notion of resting up for the weekend, but like you also have young kids when this happens, so there's no real resting up.
You get a bit, I presume there's a bit of anaesthetic involved, is there?
I think it's...
You could be, I wouldn't say they'd agree with giving you a few pints after a bit of anaesthetic.
Would we take sponsorship from
Not being an anaesthetist.
Absolutely, we would take sponsorship from
who?
From a snip company.
Are there snip companies?
Yeah.
Are they not just called doctors?
No. Oh no, there's clinics that specialise in...
Right, in Ireland?
Yeah.
Balbriggan.
I'd say this is far more common than we think.
Right. Snips.ie.
Yeah.
Right.
It turns out you probably know loads of people just walking around there. Yeah. Lesser men in your eyes. That's it, isn't it?
As long as they're happy, that's
behind closed doors, whatever they get up to themselves.
Is the pain is the only reluctance then? Is that what we're saying? I know he's not here to actually explain himself fully, but
I wonder if there is also a little bit of like, this is saying goodbye to a part of my life that is over, and it's a big part of your life, especially when you've successfully had kids / the kids have been born, as opposed to successfully, because the jury's out on that. Are you happy to say that's over? That's the end? Like, that part of your life is done. Irrespective of what's happening. Like, say the whole world goes to shit and like we're post-apocalyptic and you're one of the few remaining and you're like, I'm kind of useless. I'm kind of useless. I got the snip. I'm sorry about that, folks. I'm not going to be able to repopulate the world. And it's like, exactly. Well,
this guy's
meat. Let's just eat him. Like, that wouldn't be very nice, would it? Oh, you can get it undone. You can get it undone. I've heard of successful.
You'd be like, oh no, I'm a full man.
I don't know why.
I'm a full man.
It must be you.
I've had no snip. Don't be looking at my balls.
That's what happened. They chopped your balls off. It's just like,
It's a scar.
I presume it's keyhole.
Ew. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, shit.
I presume there's probably like if you're looking close enough, Nathan, which, you know, maybe you will.
No one ever will be. Don't worry. No one's ever going to see. Like,
but no one's
ever going to see again.
Tattoos of my kids, they'll always be my kids. I didn't get a tattoo of my wife. She might not always be my wife.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking? As opposed to the world ending?
No, apocalyptic is far more likely, right?
I mean, I'd say statistics would show that divorce is imminently more likely.
I mean, as we talk about the imminent death of the planet every week on the show, I know Dave's not here to tell us, give us the latest update on the burning Amazon, but yeah. So, how was the rest of your week? I mean, I know you. Every morning I hear the phone rings and Adrian goes, "Oh, were you out last night? Were you drinking?" And it's obviously your croaky voice at the end of the phone.
No, it wasn't. No. You've misreported that instance.
It could have been
another one of our colleagues who won't take you too many guesses. I think.
Okay. So and who probably was drinking, but it does sound.
I haven't been out drinking. I do sound.
Yeah, I assumed that you went and got pissed after. So we're doing this on the Friday after Nathan and Joe did Roy Keane and Gary Neville. You kind of forget Gary Neville was there at this stage.
Gary Neville, I suspect, doesn't forget.
And I assumed you'd gone out in the piss after that, and I assumed that the Ireland game was last night. You had full out commentary of that.
No.
So I assumed you did your usual down in one of the pubs watching people sing rebel songs. But no, it didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen. No.
But and yet you feel as hungover as if you'd been on the piss all week.
I am a shell of a man right now. I think I'm as tired as I've ever been.
What's wrong with you?
My daughter has decided to screw up our lives. So my wife only went back to work last week, and ever since is waking up every night, having had a full year of 10, 12 hours sleep, pretty much straight every night. She's decided, at some random time between midnight and 4 in the morning, I'm going to wake up and I want a bit of a party.
All right.
And I'm just going to shout. And there's no soothing. I figured it out at about 3 o'clock this morning. Like, she's just angry.
At you?
Because we won't let her do what she wants, which is come into the bed and not even sleep, just have a chat.
Right.
And I've started to realise maybe she has us wrapped around her finger.
Hey.
I realised this morning when she's only just started walking. She walked over, picked up
11 months,
her
13
first
months?
a year.
Right.
Picked up her new little shoes that she got last week, walks over to me, put them on.
Yeah.
I put them on. She walks over to the front door, opens the front door, walks out the front door, stands looking at me. I'm like, all right, I better go out here. Forces me to walk around the entire green with her. Every time I try and stop, has an absolute meltdown.
Oh, that's cute.
I do the full lap of the green. When we get back to the house, she walks back in and it's like...
That's class.
That's nice, no? Is that not a nice moment of parenting?
If I hadn't had 3 hours sleep last night, I might have fully appreciated it. But all the time I'm like, this all leads into last night as well. There's nothing that can actually soothe her. She's just, you know what, I can do what I want here.
Yeah, she's a boss.
How do I change this?
I don't know.
How do I
don't
get
know.
it back?
I think trying to find some enjoyment in the midst of the mayhem is the key to all this. And fuck me, it's hard.
Because last night it was my wife was the one who lost it.
Right.
Who was just like, she's going back into that bed. I don't care if she screams for the next 3 hours. We're leaving her.
Yeah.
I think Monday night I was the one who was like, I'm going to put my fist through a wall right now if she doesn't stop. Maybe we just need to get one night. I'm kind of like here going, oh,
night on,
God.
night off. Do the night on, night off thing.
If we had one good night's sleep, I could think rationally and come up with some sort of a plan.
Here's the thing, even if you do get a good night's sleep, you'll never think rationally because you're a parent now and they sucked a little important part of your brain out, and so you just need to get used to this.
It doesn't feel like the let's just leave her there to cry it out type of cry. It's a
bit early for that, is it?
I'm just going to annoy you.
Maybe it's not. Maybe this is the time that you need to do that.
Night on, night off.
Yeah, probably going to have to do that.
We're sort of going through a similar sort of a thing with our eldest lad, and it's annoying the shit out of both of us, and it's like, so he started Montessori. I was saying that maybe that was the last one or the one before that. He started Montessori on Monday, which is an altogether different story that I can get into at some point. But I think it might just have him out of kilter a small bit. So like he's going to bed and he's like, even last night, unbelievable night last night. Wife was out, went out in the town, by the way, lads.
Right.
Just to let you know. Looked after the 2 kids on my own.
Second time ever. We did a tweet about that. Let's get to.
No, not second time. No. At least the third.
Send her a text just to keep her updated.
I did. At a quarter, I got the two of them. I was in my head. I was like, I wonder could I get them to sleep by 7:45? Is that in any way reality? Ireland were playing Switzerland last night at 7:45, obviously. And suddenly we went through the routine. The baby started dozing off. I was like, holy shit, this is actually going to happen. It's going to happen. Got your man done. And they were both, he a little bit of wailing until about 10 to 8, and that was it, gone. Anyway, but at 11:30 starts, and this wouldn't be him at all, like he'd go to bed and he would get up at sort of 6 and start rummaging around and come in or maybe before that, and come in and go to bed with us. Like, just sort of wailing, and like you were saying, there's any great rhyme or reason to it. There's no making him happy about anything.
Was he awake or was he asleep?
He was awake, yeah.
Right,
and then, so I managed to get him down. Managed to get him back to sleep again after some discussions about whatever it was. And then I woke up this morning to come in here at 5:30, and he's in the bed beside me, sitting up. Downstairs, come on, downstairs, open the blinds. I'm like, no, it's dark outside. Everyone else is sleeping. Downstairs, come on. And just wouldn't go back to bed. And he's in that, he's doing that now. In a way that he wouldn't have done before. He would do that, and then you go, it's dark, let's continue to sleep, and he'd go back to it.
Right.
But there is no talking to him. I don't know what to do. Like, we haven't quite got to the night on, night off thing, but I think that's where we're headed.
And do you feed him in the middle of the night?
No. He's like 2.5.
So it's not that he's hungry or anything, yeah. See, I don't mind, when she's wailing, I don't mind, because it's sort of, that's give me the soother, or give me a bottle and I'll go back to sleep. It's last night at 12:20, just as I'm getting to sleep. Daddy! Oh my God, she sounds very awake there. I walk in, she's like sitting up. Daddy! And I like put the soother in, walk out. So like I leave her for a few minutes. All I'm hearing is like the apocalypse has arrived as she smashes her head off every part of to try and, like at one stage she's her arm wrapped in some awkward angle to try and,
the outside.
Almost self-inflicted, to try and cause herself some pain, so we'd have to come and rescue her.
Right.
So maybe I'm reading too much into it here, but it does feel as though there's some deep psychological issues creeping in very early with this child. That at 3 a.m, I'm really not that equipped to solve.
I would be open to any suggestions from listeners about what the hunger one. Actually, I haven't really considered, but I don't think it's that.
Yeah, you can't get into that, because then I'm going to wake up from my midnight treat now.
No,
see, that's what we have that problem, because so I think at 1 she should have a bottle in the morning and a bottle before bed, but the morning bottle, which up to a few weeks ago was, say, 7-8 o'clock, has been getting progressively earlier to, oh my God, at like 4 a.m, it's like, just give her the bloody bottle to get her back to sleep. But is she at midnight going,
There's one of these coming again?
yeah, but then last night she got the bottle, she's like, great.
Knock a block off her. At least you expect that it knocks them out.
I want 2 hours at least, minimum out of that. No, gone. Pegs it across the room.
No way. That's that shit over the head. Good luck. Into the basketball ring.
Oh, you got a bad one there, Nathan.
This is what I am.
I'm sorry for your trouble.
This is what I'm concerned about.
I think going to school definitely discombobulates them massively when they haven't done that before. Like, so our third one just started as well, and it's gone completely mental. And
School.
no, Montessori. And instead of just like understanding this and dealing with it and accepting that he's going to be a psychopath for the next couple of weeks, you get sucked into it, and you end up like screaming. And like 5 minutes afterwards, you're going, "Oh my God, what? Like, how did that happen? How did we allow this to happen again? How does it become the currency of exchange, where they're going to shout and you're going to shout and they're going to shout more and you're going to shout more, and it just keeps escalating? And like, what is the point? Like, until you step back and you go, okay, I'm going to step back and be cool now. 15 seconds. And
And another thing.
Check out our DMs there, Ger.
Are there some?
There was a DM, yeah.
Oh,
I
I
think
don't-
our DMs are open.
They are, yeah. I deleted the Twitter app from my phone.
Oh, is this
I now use the browser, and it's a really shit experience. You actually miss DMs.
is it a lifestyle choice?
I'm trying to,
Be
yeah.
more present.
Yeah, it's not really working very well. What did you say? Sorry.
You see, I find that whenever I delete the Twitter app to try and be more present, I find myself still going on Safari onto Twitter, and I end up spending so much time trying to get onto it because it's so crap.
Somebody still signed in here from this morning.
Adrian Barry, yeah.
Oh, sign that shit out there, yeah. I have the DMs here. Shut off.
I'm going to check your DMs, don't worry.
Don't be sliding.
The tweet.
Just my Montessori.
I would like to
thing, so-
apologise to my wife for sharing intimate
So
details.
is this the first year of Montessori?
Yeah, first he went in on Monday. So we've been potty training him for the last month or whatever it was, and we pretty much have it under control.
Yeah.
Pretty much under control. A couple of accents here and there. The problem is, right, he's a little bit shy, right? So even with us, he won't always get you. And also with kids, I think at that age, they don't always get you in time. So they'll literally say, "Boo dada," and you're like, "Okay, good." "Oh no, you've just done your pants." "Grand, okay." But so whatever with us, he is the sort of kid who it'll take him a bit of time to. I brought him in. We brought him in on Monday, and then I brought him in on Wednesday, and I can see the other kids that are around. Some of them are like what you might expect from a mix of kids that age. Some of them really outgoing, right up in your face, and like having chats and crack and playing and all that. And he's kind of the opposite of that. And when I've been there with him early, and the more kids that arrive, the more shy he gets. And so then when you partner that with obviously just coming out the other end of potty training, he's kind of reluctant to go to the teacher here. And he also, it seems like he doesn't like the toilet seat, bizarrely. I don't know what that's all about. So that's kind of where we're at. So he went in on Monday at kind of 9 o'clock. We got a text then at, it might have been like 10 or half 10. He was only due to be in there till 12. That's the day, obviously. And then he had done a poo in his pants. They cleaned him up. And I think generally they tried to send them home after doing something like that.
Really?
What?
No, they just changed the clothes and go.
Yeah.
Select it.
No,
No way.
Yeah.
No. No.
So anyway, and then
Want to get primetime involved?
second day then there was no, to be fair, they really are excellent. They actually are excellent. And the second day, so he did a wee and the same sort of stuff. So I was like, right, Wednesday, I'm taking the bull by the horns there. I'm gonna bring, because our childminder brought him down then the Tuesday night. I thought if I go down with him the Wednesday, I'll bring him in. I'll be the best person to be able to familiarise him with all the area, get him to sort of meet the kids, bring him in, show him where the toilet is, show him the various toys and how he can easily go up and ask the teacher if he needs to go to the toilet. I'd be the best person to possibly do that. Everything was going swimmingly all the way down. Got in there. There was no reluctance to go in or anything like that. One kid arrives and he's kind of playing a little bit with her, and then another kid arrives and he's getting a bit quieter. More kids arrived and it's like, shut down, lift me up. Brought him in, tried to familiarise him, wailing, and ultimately then I had the teacher just said, listen, why don't you just give him to me and you go for it, like leg it. Which is what I did, and obviously stood outside the door where he couldn't see me for long enough to hear what was going on, and wailing continued. And anyway, the upshot of that day was he had a great day, didn't do any accidents, played with all the other kids, had a whale of a time. And so I kind of thought, that's it, we're home and hose. And then went back in again yesterday and did 2 wheeze in his pants. And like at some point doesn't get involved with the children. It's not. Do you know what? Like, you know the way you talk to people about how's Montessori going for your kid, and they're like, oh, he's flying it. Absolutely taking like duck to water. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. I've been talking to people this week who are all saying that.
That he's flying it.
That their kids are like, oh.
Ours is definitely a fairly traumatic experience for him going in. Didn't want to leave the house, had a meltdown.
Right.
Made everybody else be late for school. When it's a big enough... So he
Oh, I can do what I want here.
Yeah, she's a boss.
How do I change this?
I don't know.
How do I
don't
get
know.
it back?
I think trying to find some enjoyment in the midst of the... For him going in, didn't want to leave the house, had a meltdown.
Right.
Made everybody else be late for school. When it's a big enough... So he's started a week after our middle child started in school as well. So she's not really getting this is still great for you. So she's actually arriving late. because your man's like, I don't want to go to school. And so then this morning she's like, I'm not going to school. So I gave her an English pound coin. She was delighted and was like, okay, off you go. So it turns out I can bribe. And then he wanted some as well. So he was like, okay, to get out to the car, I gave him like a 5-cent coin. Happy days. I realise that I'm building in a lot of issues further in life, creating avaricious capitalist
You got
pigs.
through the morning, eh?
Well, hey, I mean, anything for a bit of peace. But no, he was definitely like, it wasn't straightforward for him going in, because he's been, this is his first time going, so.
And was he settled when he got there then, or?
No, there was definitely like sitting with him for 20 minutes, and then, so it'll get better. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah,
so our first one didn't enjoy going at all. The second one was delighted to be going. At the start. And then, sorry, this lasts a week.
Right.
This lasts a week, and then it gets over.
Okay.
Yeah, our eldest was the same. Even probably took a bit longer. Second ran in. But then they've seen it all before. That's like pretty much everything.
Yeah.
But it is
Yeah, exactly. So
difficult.
your second child will pick him up from crash, will pick him up from school before she experiences any of this stuff and is like, oh, I want to go and see what they're doing in there. Show me the stuff that you're doing.
She's also hard as nails in a way that he isn't. Like, already I can tell that.
Yeah. Like, it is incredibly stressful when they're, because of this new ECCE thing where they go in for 2 years. So obviously the first day of school used to be the big moment. Whereas this is far worse, I think, the first day of Montessori. Because at least in school, they're at sort of an age where you can try and reason with them a little bit. You can sort of make them understand. At 3, going in,
Yeah.
I know,
they're still pissing their pants. So
Yeah, our 4-year-old.
the toilet thing, though, we had that issue as well with the second lad, where, and again, maybe it was just the Montessori or same thing. Like, started pissing his pants and trying to figure out what was going on, and it was that the teacher was insistent that the children asked her to bring them to the toilet, but he, like any lad, would leave it so long. When he'd need to go to the toilet, he'd have to go. He'd need to go. There'd be no sign of her. They'd be like, was turning into, again, a deep psychological problem that eventually, I'm like, where was the teacher though? She was in the other room. I was like, so was there nobody there with you? No. Like, all right. It's hard to get a crash spot, isn't it? So we'll just have to stick with this.
Right. Yeah.
Sounds like you might have.
What happened?
No, he stayed going there. I wouldn't have said it was the greatest experience of all time.
Yeah.
He got through it.
Yeah. It's
That's
not great, is it?
It's not a great analysis of.
I mean, it's not great. Like, there's no checks and balances, really. I mean, they say there are, but there aren't.
Well, clearly you watched the primetime documentary.
I still haven't
we
watched
got
it.
screwed over because...
As you know, we didn't watch that.
I watched it, I think.
We got screwed over completely because the first year, like, it was fine. Like, it was okay the first year, but when he was going back for the second year, he was told he would have a different teacher who we had seen was really good. And we're like, all right, because we had the option of moving him. It was going to be a bit more hassle. Like, I could walk him down to the creche from where our house was. This was going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. It was like, look, obviously, if it's a better thing, we'll do it. But then we're like, new teacher, it'll be all grand. Rock in the first day. Old teacher's back again.
All right.
You told us 2 months ago that she was going to be teaching him. Oh, yeah, she's leaving next week, so, go back to the other creche. Sorry. Oh, no spaces.
Oh.
Nightmare.
Absolute nightmare.
Yeah, it's not great.
Can I read out a text?
Go for it, yeah.
That I got from my wonderful wife. I don't know if I've mentioned that before.
Great person.
On the podcast.
How's she doing?
One of life's great human beings.
A saint, I think we would all agree. A saint.
I would endorse all of that. So we
Putting
went
up with you, I mean.
We may have mentioned, and I'm 100% on that page. We may have mentioned that we were at Electric Picnic last week, and we all travelled together, and so Ger came over to pick up me and arrived at the door. And Con comes out and he's like, "Oh, traffic jam, Dada." I'm like, "Oh yeah, good man, great traffic jam." And so we took off down the road to pick up you. And
He was late. Nathan was late. We missed our slot, but it's not a big deal. We're not going to bring it up every podcast.
Well, it's on the record now that it was your fault, so that's kind of the main thing. So we took off down the road. It was like one of those days that was like actually really sunny at some points and then a bit wet at other times, so the kind of rain was on and off. And my wife was heading off up to her parents for the day, for the night, given that I wasn't around. So they were packing up the car.
You never mentioned you were totally off the hook, that even when you got home, you could have kept partying.
I know, but like every sort of dad with kids of mine's ages, at some point I was like, I'm just bollocks now. Going to bed would be an absolute dream.
Yeah, you fuckers made me drive the whole way to the south side. I was 15 minutes from my gaff when we reached the corner of the M50. I get home an hour and 25 minutes later.
Nathan had to go to work the next day, so I was just doing the solid for him, really, to be honest with you.
Anyway, go on.
So anyway, we're taking off down the road. We're not long gone, and I get this text from my wife. Starts raining as putting stuff in the car. I tell Con to stay inside because of the rain. We stand inside and look outside, and he says, "Fuck's sake."
It's great because it's something you would literally say as you're standing trying to go somewhere.
Which one of us he's getting it from? Yeah. So that was a little story from that. I mean, and I have said previously that I'm sort of easy enough with the bad language, which I still kind of am, to be honest. I guess I'd probably stay that way until it lands me in some kind of bother. But I kind of think it's other people's issues. And
the bother is going to be, he says it to somebody who matters. Is that it? Like somebody you don't want to say.
If he says it if he goes to the teacher, for fuck's sake, then
that'd be an issue, yeah.
That wouldn't be great. And I don't have an issue with it. It's other people's issue, but
I still don't think you want your kid. It's fine when they say it in a funny way like that once every so often. Like, if he's in Montessori and it starts raining and he's very comfortable in a couple of months' time and he's sitting with his mates like, fuck's sake. Can we play with these toys? And he's like, and the other kids, no, that's my toy. Fuck off. And the other kid's like, what?
What did that guy say? What age is that guy?
But like, somebody else.
But the thing about it is, he's not saying it like, he was just saying he was saying it in no emotion whatsoever. It was just something he's obviously heard somebody else say. It wasn't like there was no aggression about it, and even if you were to tie an emotion to it, it was just exasperation, right? Like, it wasn't...
No, you don't need to explain. We understand.
No, but what I'm saying is, he could be sitting there.
He said it in the correct manner.
He could be sitting with his mates at the Montessori and it starts raining, and he might go, "Oh, fuck's sake!" And that's not bad. Like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing outside of the use of the word. No. There's no aggressive emotion to it.
So I presume your wife is blaming you for this.
Well, we haven't had any great discussion outside. The three of us just cracking ourselves laughing about it.
Check out your DM while we're talking about your wife.
A tweet from Aidan Goff on the accumulation of plastic issue that Dave McIntyre raised around birthdays, Christmas. My daughter got an invite to a 5-year-old's party with a line saying that gifts weren't necessary, but a €5 voucher for Smiths would be appreciated as the girl was saving for a bike.
I presume this was last week, was it?
Yeah.
So what was Dave's problem? That there's too many presents?
Too much plastic, too much crap. Let's stop buying plastic tat.
But once the kids start school, there's no presents.
It's $5 in a card.
It's a $5 in a card, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a couple of things that you don't realise that you kind of have to go through and someone has to tell you. That if you're at a party and it's a kid's party, it's okay to leave your children. You drop your children and...
Oh, sorry, that should be on, like, we should have had that on our first ever pod.
We did it a while back, but somebody was like, there was like, people came to this party and they left their children. I thought I was going to babysit them for 2 hours. I was like, yes, that's your job. And it's the benefit is that you get that 10 times. That's why you should invite as many people as you possibly can. You can possibly afford. Stretch as far as you can.
Well, there is that. You see, are you putting a $5 card in?
Yeah.
We put a $10 card in.
Oh, $5 cards.
And when you have 2 kids, one in second class and one in senior infants, there's certain periods of the year where there's 3 parties a weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
joint parties. Oh, why did it reach a tenner? Why not send out the WhatsApp?
I don't know.
At the start of the year, $5 in a card.
I don't know how it became a tenner. I would recommend we should do a list of recommendations. And look, if they want...
Southside wankers,
listen,
what?
If this place in the Southside want to give me free membership for the year, that's perfectly fine.
Who?
Best place for a party in the Southside.
Who?
It's probably one on the North Side.
What?
Fit Zone in Leopardstown at the racecourse. It's in, those big white shells. It's just like a bouncy play area place.
Yeah.
And they might have a football pitch in that. So, adults aren't allowed in.
Oh.
At all.
Oh, hang on.
Well, that's what I thought. But then 5 minutes later when I was sitting having coffee, I thought, you know what? So adults, if they want, can go down and look in.
Right. The viewing area.
There's a viewing area, but basically they line all the kids up. They all go off down into this play area. They shut the door behind them. There's a viewing area. Come back in an hour and 45 minutes. There's a lovely little coffee shop right beside it. Great. You just go in there and chill out.
What ages can you go to there from?
I'd say like from whatever age.
Yeah, but so our next birthday is an 8-year-old birthday next week, and we've like nothing. What do you do for 8-year-olds? Because like they won't
bring everyone to your house.
Yeah.
Invite as many people as you can, Jerry.
The exact opposite idea is obviously not inviting people to your house is the key.
I think nothing sums up a person's personality as a parent as to if they can have a child's birthday party in their house. You're clearly incredibly relaxed. All the people I've seen do it, I'm like, okay, something just a bit. You're probably chilled out.
Something a bit better about you is what you're...
There is, yeah. I'm like, how do you not hate every single one of these children? How are you not just running around wanting to kill them all?
I mean, there's nothing in the house that I would care about really that much. A few books, that's about it.
Kids.
I mean, obviously, they'll survive. They'll survive the party. I mean, so that the kids can break. But it's the tidying up afterwards, it's the preparation, it's the no.
No. My waddy all over your wall.
Piss and puke and who knows.
The kids are out.
a €5 voucher is like the solution to everything for all that stuff. And Gavin was in touch to say, Aldi car park, 2 cars in parent and child spaces, no children in the car. I can only assume they're both being kept in the boot. This shouldn't annoy me as much as it does. I feel #Dadcast is partially to blame for my diligence on this subject. Love the podcast. Keep it up. Good man, Gavin at Purple Blah. Give us your DM and then we'll get out of here.
I'll slide into our own DMs here. What's the etiquette? Am I allowed to read the name? They've signed it off with their name and they haven't stipulated that I shouldn't read their names. Go for it. Rob Byrne. Good afternoon, good morning and good evening to you, Rob. Just listen to today's podcast. He says, on the Dodies, there's a fairy garden in Malahide Castle with a dedicated station to leave Dodies for the fairies. Worked a treat with my 3-year-old. The fairies had left a present in the house by the time we went home. There were a couple of wobbles, but the fact that we handed it over meant he knew they were gone. Can't believe my life has come to this. Rob.
Was that it?
Yeah.
No, there's another one. That one was fine as well.
There's more.
That one was fine. Marley Park, we had to go to Marley Park where they also had some sort of a fairy tree.
We did. We've just done the exact same thing and cut ties with the gum-gums, as we call them, and we've put them in the bin. And I think we're past them.
All right.
Mark Kenny says, lads, you bollocksed up the episode numbers or else you're releasing episode 35 at a later date. Producer,
this is episode 35.
Official comment. Is this the Poor Adrian one you're talking
about?
Yes. So Spud 83, I mean, it's whatever it is. Poor Adrian's still getting a hard time about texting his wife. From my experience, my wife would murder me if I left the kid screaming rather than text her. Good man, Spud.
No, how does she know?
This is my point. Here's what happens. If your child has been screaming all night and your wife is out and she arrives back at 1 in the morning and the child is up going apeshit, she's like, oh my God, was it like this all night? You go, no, it was all grand.
Would you do that? Would you not play up the fact that you've, had torture for the last few hours?
No, because...
Brownie points.
She won't go out again.
It's the opposite of brownie point. It's feelings of guilt.
Yeah, she won't go out again.
No, it's like, well
the
done
whole
you.
reason that you are putting up with this is so that when you want to go out, you're saying, oh, I stayed out till 3 in the morning because remember, we're all on the same level here.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You did the same.
You're not, I don't just view you as like, cattle who gives birth to this thing for me that,
And when they start wailing the house down.
Yeah, I'm like, no, we're emotionally on the same level here. We're involved as a team in building this thing together. And I looked after the child tonight. It was absolutely fine. You should go and do that again.
I mean, the last part I can get aboard with, but the lying to them about the behaviour of the child, I'm just like, why would you bother?
Episode 35, we didn't screw it up. It's in the system and it will go live next week, and then this will also go live. But episode 35 was our Ross Carl Kelly special, which has not gone live yet.
Oh.
So
is that a deliberate tactic or
because
producer strikes again?
No, we put the Electric Picnic Festival live straight away because it was festival season. We, the royal we, you chumps didn't have anything to do with it, I see. Couldn't even show up on time. Anyway, does anybody else have anything apart from that? So Adrian reading out a tweet about himself being great. That's an appropriate
to be fair, I wasn't
bring up again that.
Like, fair play, Nathan. No, good man.
I'm just stressing the point.
He was wrong, and that guy's wrong too.
No, Spud is right, and that one guy in the audience of
ask your wife, Spud.
Week.
Don't just.
Like I find when my parents babysit, they're brilliant because no matter what's happened,
it was fine.
We come back to like, yeah, it was fine. I was like,
it probably
that's
was
weird. It's like she hasn't slept all night in 6 months. Oh no, she slept all night. Okay, perfect, great.
Don't ask, don't tell. I mean, it's not a great policy when it comes to gays in the military, but it's great when it comes to parenting.
I mean,
on that note, finished?
No, I disagree, but let's keep that for another day.
JP's laughter in the background. We'll see you next week. You can get us at Dadcast Pod on Twitter. Email us with any of your longer complaints, dadcast@offtheball.com. And do please leave a rating for us. It really helps in terms of getting the word out there about other desperate parents who might need some help, just like us. See you next week.